Barbie from 2023. What better way to welcome in springtime than with Barbie? 8 Academy Award nominations, including one for Best Picture. Now, the Oscars have taken a lot of flack lately due to recent changes in eligibility requirements, mostly due to inclusion rules to charm the highbrows, but less talked about is the requirement that films who desire Oscar consideration must now be available in all theatrical formats. And that means 3D too. Some speculate that this was due to Apple drumming up content for their goggles. Others sneer that it's a way to cut out the small players who will never be able to cough up the dough for an expensive conversion. Still, this requirement is not a new thing. Japan, well known for its love of 3D, has had the regulation in place for years, though it's often ignored. This, though, led to the delay of Oppenheimer being released there. At 180 minutes, really, who's got time to convert that? For the most part, though, these are contractual fulfillments, not intended to really see the light of day. But Warner Brothers is known for releasing the odd 3D Blu-ray still, and why shelve $20 million worth of effects work? And what do we get for these efforts? Well, I happen to like the aesthetic of splatting the sides of their heads. It really welds the character to their surroundings. In real life, we see in terms of separation, but here we get something more akin to stereo emulsion. This fits the spiritual theme of living in a state of duality. It shows these characters are as not so much being in the moment, but as if they are only partway through some ethereal portal, interacting with but not really a part of the world. Composers study harmony for years, not to figure out how to make it, but how to break it. Music is the art of disruption. Add a seventh to a chord and the ear yearns to escape into the fifth. The same is true of story, and Barbie is a great example of the use of disharmony to nudge an audience into anticipating, even craving a change. Bump a perfect circle and all attention goes to the protrusion. And that dissonance becomes an expectation that something new is about to be born. You can really get a sense of this dissonance in 3D shots like this, where the windshield is shown exclusively on the far side of the snowmobile. Some might say the use of the stage props was enough to convey the journey to the alternate reality, but the stereographer recognized the meta nature of this scene and used the 3D art to further convey that we are not watching reality, but moving past it. And further, one may gather the unique insight that abstract is not an island, but rather the connective bridge between impression and expression. Look how artfully they stretch the girl's nose in one eye and entirely cut it off in the other. Truly a next-level 3D experience. Some low-rent reviewers might call this sort of thing broken, but they lack the vision that a movie of this caliber requires. Remember, these people do not know who they are. Why should we? And here, with the use of the double sunglasses, we experience a common motif throughout the movie. It's an imitation of life, as the Apostle Paul might say, having a form of godliness, but never able to come to a complete knowledge of truth. By the stereo warping of the sunglass frame and the complete lack of attention to reflective elements, the 3D helps convey the, no, not superficial, for it has purpose, but rather the costumes on display. And really, costumes itself might be too superficial of a term, because really in this movie there are no costumes, for rather they are colorful suits of armor in this battle of dignity. And again, like armor, this stereo helps protect the viewer from looking too deeply by making most backgrounds a bit flattish and taking great care to leave out any inconvenient 3D detail. A stunning profound and transformative conversion that dares to challenge the viewer's perceptions by bravely coming between viewer and screen. At times, I liken this presentation to maintaining a conversation while I'm trying to watch the movie. It just never stopped speaking to me. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I get this? Unfortunately, this edition is only available from a regional distributor out east in the Sloof Lurpa Islands. Ordering from red light street vendors is not easy by mail, and, well, you better hurry with your pre-orders. Sales are strictly limited to April 1st.